Fishing news is brought to you by Navionics, Okuma, and Yozori.
Hey there, Toby Lapinski for the New England edition of the Fisherman magazine, coming to you this week on location down here in Charleston, South Carolina for a special media event with 2019 Fisherman magazine dream boat sponsor Everett. They got a big monumental debut event going on here today, so down here reporting, of course, representing my Bruins and my Patriots while I'm out of town as always, especially those Bruins with that big win the other night. Anyway, as always seems to happen when I'm on location anywhere, the fishing is great back home. And as soon as I found out I had to go on this trip this week, I sent a text to all the guys that I fish with and said, get out, fish this week, plan on it. I'm going to be gone. The bite's going to turn on. What happened? It happened. All right, starting off on the freshwater side of things. Received a picture of a good-sized largemouth bass that Eric Nicholson landed while fishing Rogers Lake in Old Lyme, Connecticut. Now, he was out there trolling for trout, as there's been a lot of good stocking going on still in Connecticut, and as he was trolling one of his spoons, big bucket mouth jumped on it. Real surprise catch for him. Was not what he was expecting. Nonetheless, great catch. Also bagged a couple of trout on the outing that were destined for the smoker. And then also heard from Nick Canaris, regular Fisherman contributor. Sure you've all seen his photos before. Did some awesome shots. He's done some great articles with us. He was out last week looking for some pre-spawn crappie. He noted that temps were right around 58 degrees, for the water. Thought it was going to be on, but the crappie he was finding were kind of staging just outside the shallows, right on the edge of the deep water. And while he was able to finagle a few of them to bite, got some good fish, it was the largemouth that had already transitioned shallow, and he said it was an extremely productive bass outing with some good crappie peppered in. But he did note that pre-spawn bite should kick in really any day now for the crappie. This little cold we saw this week might have dialed it back just a hair, but we're supposed to have better weather coming on the weekend, so it should kick back into gear. All right, switching over to the salt. Blackfish. Let's see, as I reported already, it's closed in my home waters of Connecticut, but it's still open in Massachusetts and in Rhode Island waters. In Rhode Island, it's open through May 31st, and the bite is really getting going now. I got a great picture of a big tog landed by, Amanda. She was fishing with Captain BJ Sylvia off the waters of Newport. And not only did she get this mega tog, she released it, as is customary on BJ's boat, for those larger breeding class fish to go back into the water. So congratulations on the great catch, Amanda, as well as the release, and great job, Captain, putting her on those fish. Sticking on the east side of the bay, going to send it over once again this week to Fisherman magazine subscriber and video contributor TJ Kopecki.
Thanks, Toby. Hey guys, this week coming to you from Swansea, Massachusetts, fishing in the Coles River, which is behind me. The bite's been really good inside this river here. Lots of small and micro stripers still waiting for that big fish to get in here. But there's a reason why I'm fishing here, and my logs that I go back and look at from previous years of fishing have told me that I've caught large squid in here, which come out of Mount Hope Bay. I'm not sure if they come in here to spawn or what they do, but to feed. But there is some squid and some larger bait, herring, and there are some porgies in here also. So the fishing in here actually is really good, but I haven't caught that squid yet, and I'm looking for it. For other reports from the East Bay, I'm still hearing good reports about the tautog up on the bridges behind the American Tourist Store and in the Barrington River. So keep your lines tight, guys, and we'll catch you next week.
All right, cool. Thanks a lot. Great report over there. Really appreciate it. As I've noted before, always looking for your submissions, whether it's just photos or the general catch reports, or if you want to start being a video contributor each week, shoot me an email at tlapinski@thefisherman.com. Real simple to do. All you basically need is a smartphone, and you can get submitting video reports as well. So shoot me an email. We can talk. And let's see, sticking in Rhode Island, the Francis fleet has begun sailing for Fluke. They report some okay results, nothing spectacular. They're getting some fish, getting some keepers, a lot of shorts mixed in. Unfortunately, while they're finding a ton of bait, mackerel as well as squid. The water is still just a little bit cold. They worked the waters off the beaches, South County beaches, Misquamicut, Charleston, that stretch, and they worked over by Block Island. They found a little bit more productive action over off of Block, but more bait inshore. So they went out Saturday night and did their first squid trip of the year, and their fares loaded up on squid as well as those mackerel. So really, all we need is a couple more degrees, I think, on that water temperature. We got the bait in place, and those Fluke, should really start feeding. And let's see, next up, Captain Greg DeBrule of the Black Hawk gave me a call just before I left to come down here, South Carolina. Want to let me know that he is seeing what he's describing as some of, if not the best spring porgy action that he's ever encountered. Their numbers, size, everything you could want with those spring porgies. What's even better, they're getting some mixed bag as always. They've got some striped bass. They're getting some good fluke mixed in. I saw a bunch of boats over in Peconic were getting shot at large weakfish this week. Even saw some guys getting butterfish. There is a ton of life over there. Now those trips, sail every Saturday and Sunday. And any weekdays where they don't already have a private trip scheduled. So give them a call, check out the website, blackhawksportfishing.com. He also wanted to let me know that they have their first calamari safari this Friday night. It's May 17th, leaves the dock at 6 p.m. It's just $40. You can rent rod and reel on the boat. If you don't have one, you got to bring your own squid jigs, but this should be a really cool trip. As I noted, there's some good squidding already going on in Rhode Island water, so he's going to get in on the action. If I wasn't down here on location, I would be on the boat with him, so give him a call, 860-448-3662, or once again, blackhawksportfishing.com to reserve your spot. And then last up this week, striped bass action remains very good on small to medium-sized schoolies, pretty much all across southern New England, from here up in around the Merrimack River, through the canal, up on the Cape, Rhode Island, Connecticut. They're pretty much everywhere now. Mostly holdovers. Some guys are saying they're starting to get some of those fresh fish mixed in, tough to say. But I've also heard some better fish starting to poke in with them as well, fish to the mid 30-inch class. Heard from Mike Roy of Real Cast Charters. He said he's even getting some really good topwater bites lately on striped bass in the Connecticut River. We did note the water is up. It's a bit dirty. We've had a lot of overcast days, but those can be some of the best conditions for the topwater spring bite on the river, so call him today if you want to get in on the action. All right, well, there you have it. I am Toby Lapinski for the New England edition of the Fisherman magazine, wishing you tight lines if you head out onto the water this weekend.
Win the incredible Steigercraft Evinrude Lowrance Grand Prize Boat Package and more in the Fisherman's 2019 Dream Boat Fishing Challenge. Get the details now at thefisherman.com.